Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Doing another review for you today. And today's review is over this. This is the Mongoose Switchback Expert. You can get it at Dick's Sporting Goods. And I'm just going to give you my honest thoughts on it. So just full transparency and everything like that. This was sent to me to test out, ride, enjoy, everything like that, and kind of give my thoughts on it. And one thing that I am pretty deliberate about is I'm honest about my thoughts. So so I'm going to give you like my first initial review of the bike, the things that I like about it, and the things that, you know, obviously could be improved, things like that, and just overall. So what I'm comparing this to is the GT Aggressor Pro I had. It was also a hardtail. This is a hardtail. It virtually is the same in that sense, but there are massively big differences that would this bike been sitting next to the GT, I would have picked this bike over the GT without a doubt. The first is it's rolling on 29s. Like, I think that that's a big deal. The GT was on 27.5s, which isn't end of the world, but buying a large bike, having more experience now, I just think that 29ers are the better way to go. And I just think that that's probably the better route. So it is on 29ers. I think that's a huge deal. They are only 2.25s, which, you know, upgradability there. If you go back and watch my GT Aggressor Pro video, you're going to see that I had upgraded the tires. I think that's something that this bike is going to just pummel that bike, and honestly, any like entry level mountain bike out there. That I think that's something I'm very impressed with this bike, and that's its upgradability. And I mean, they went ahead and made it easy for you. So yeah, the 29ers, big deal. You can go ahead and slap on some bigger tires if you want on there. That definitely has the space to do so. It's also a one by. I think that's a huge deal. Which it's a 1x8, just so you know, 1x8. So, you know, not a 1x10 or a 1x11. You're not getting that extra oomph and that extra ease that you would in a more, in a 1x11 or 1x10. But I mean, 1x8, again, upgradability. You're already in that. You don't have to worry about having 3 gears on the front in your pedals, and then what you have on the back, and want to change that. You got it. You can already, I mean, 1x8 for an entry level bike is pristine, guys. Another big thing that I thought was very impressive is the stem is already like in that, it's in the, I'd say the best setting for what I think, and remember, this is all opinion based, is like the best way to ride a mountain bike, especially for that type of mountain biking. Like if you're wanting to do cross country, then maybe you want a little bit longer of a stem. If you're looking to do a little more downhill, some speed with that, it's got it. So you don't even need to worry about that. Same with the bars. The bars are already set up. There is something left to be desired in the brakes and everything like that. But I mean, it comes in at $700. I think that's a pretty solid price for something that you can get and then you can make yours. So you can upgrade the fork, you can upgrade the drivetrain, you can upgrade the tires, you can do all of that. It's ready for it. And guess what? You don't have to. I think for me, other than the shifters, like just first takeout and ride, other than shifting, and again, it's not that the shifting is bad, it's just not what I'm used to. If you watch my channel, you can see the mountain bike I have now. Although I haven't done a review on that one yet. I was waiting for my 1 year, which is coming up. But you know, that's the difference between, you know, here and here. But Mongoose has thought about a bike that is for that kid or that that beginner, like I was when I bought the GT Aggressor Pro. I had no clue, and immediately I was upgrading, and immediately there was things that I was fawning over that I wish I could do. And one of those, and this is, guys, this is the biggest thing to me that I turned to my wife and I was like, this is the seller for me on this bike. That is just amazing. I'll tell you. This bad boy has internal routing for the cables, which is awesome. You don't see that on bikes at this level. You know, I think they have a $400 bike that's a lower level of this one, but it's not. I haven't been able to check that one out. I decided to go with this one because I felt like it was the better of the two when they reached out to me to check them out. Having said that, sorry, getting off topic. Internal cable routing, awesome. But guys, this bad boy has the locations, and you'll see, to run a dropper post in it. You don't have to worry about running a dropper post cable on the outside of the bike and cinching that up and figuring out how you're going to run it, if you even can. This already has over here the hole, and then it comes out here, and again you'll see this up close, and then goes in here so you can run a cable up in it. Like, to me, huge. And you can do that all yourself, or you could go to the shop and buy a dropper post. You could go to I think One Up or P&W sells a dropper post, so you could get that, and you could go ahead and take this bad boy from having to lower and raise your seat and put a dropper post in for, I mean, really nothing, in my opinion, compared to if you bought this bike for $700 and then you went and looked at like the next level up, which I think may be like a Polygon, that would have a dropper post in it, is gonna be like $1,600. So I feel like you can take this frame and you can upgrade it up to that amount of money to where like the most base hardtail, which is probably around 13. Sorry, the Polygon I'm thinking of is a full suspension, but this is a hardtail. So maybe like a Trek Roscoe comes in maybe starting at like 13. Don't quote me on that. You can look it up. And I think it's going to have a dropper, but you could probably get a dropper post, put this bad boy in, run it, or take it to a shop and have a professional do it. And you're still not even going to break $1,000. I don't even think you're going to break 800, depending on the price of the dropper post and if you do it yourself or if you have someone do it. Especially a lot of bike shops nowadays are, if you buy it from them, they'll install it for free. So, you know, $150 dropper post, and you've already upgraded this thing, in my mind, significantly. So yeah, like just my first thoughts on this bad boy is, I'd say a pretty epic mountain bike to start. As I ride it more, I'll do another video to kind of, give you an idea of where I'm at in a couple of weeks. But just my first thoughts, I took it out and rode it for a little bit. It's a hardtail. I ride a full suspension these days, so that initial ride, I was like, oh, what, what's going on here? It was throwing me off. But then I was like, oh yeah, Brett, you're on a hardtail. It's not gonna pop and bounce like a full suspension. And each one of those types of bikes have their their um, their pros and cons. I've met people on the trail that only ride hardtails, and I'm like, I may end up taking this bad boy, slowly upgrading everything about it, if I want, and next thing I know, I have a sweet hardtail that I've done crazy things to. We'll see. Um, but as of right now, out of the box, onto the trail, honestly, it's pretty sweet, guys. If you're looking or you're watching this video because you're not sure about it and you're just like, well, I don't want to drop thousands of dollars on a mountain bike, I understand. I was very hesitant too. I think the GT when I bought it was like $500, so this is $200 more, and I think for that price, far superior to the GT Aggressor Pro. Far superior. And I actually chose, just so you know, I chose the baby blue. I thought it was a sleek. I usually go for like darker, more just darker bikes, I guess. And then I like to throw red all over those things. But again, everything about this bike is pretty sweet. It's got disc brakes, hydraulic disc brakes, awesome turning. It is a large. I felt a little bit bigger on it than like my large Marin. I felt like maybe this would actually fall more in a medium. So make sure you don't just go online and order it. It definitely feels like I could really throw this thing around underneath me. But it's, yeah, the shocks do have preload and everything like that, but that's your base Contour uh, uh, front fork, upgradable. Again, everything on this bike is upgradable. Um, the seat was actually really comfortable out of the box. I was like, holy moly. And that's probably for good reason. Most mountain bikers, when you first start, you're going to be sitting a lot, and as you ride more, you'll realize how much you actually stand. But the only thing I would say that you would immediately upgrade, and I almost did it, but I wanted to stay true to what came in the box, is the pedals. Absolute trash. Maybe for the beginner mountain biker, and this is just 4 years into mountain biking, Brett talking, but yeah, these things are going to come off immediately. I will be putting some more legit pedals on there, just grippier. These are plastic pegs. You could easily, again, for what comes in the box, you can easily ride it right out of the box, especially if you're very new. Probably nothing you need to worry about, but something you should do. $700. I think that's a pretty solid price for what you're getting, and and the upgradability. And what I mean by that is when you get into mountain biking, especially if this is going to be your first bike, you are going, and I mean, I'm not joking, you are going to ride this thing for a little bit. You're gonna be like, and then you're gonna get the bug. You're gonna change the grips to a color you like. You're gonna get some matching pedals. Um, you know, maybe some race face pedals that are bigger because you know they're gonna be maybe skinnier, so you're not having so you're not hitting things, and you're just gonna start upgrading. And I think that's what Mongoose has in mind. You know, and I think that's something that I'm really impressed about this bike is it's not for Mongoose, at least from what I know, and you can comment and let me know if I'm dead wrong on this one, but Mongoose doesn't have forks. You know, they're not also a fork factory, or if they are, you're probably not buying forks from them. You're most likely going to go to RockShox or Fox or something like that, and you're going to buy a new fork like that, and you're going to put it on here. You're going to go and buy new Shimano disc brakes and put them on here. You're going to buy P&W. I think it's P&W. Pretty sure it's P&W. Or One Up or Race Face. You're going to buy new components from other companies and you're going to slap it on here. I think that's what they are hoping you do. That you're going to keep this frame as you move up in the mountain biking world, and you're going to make this Mongoose better. And just seeing that they've put the, you know, the internal routing and everything like that in this bike is, and the internal routing for the dropper post is, I think, is a pretty big deal. Like they expect you to do it. You're either going to do that or you're going to go out and you're going to buy a better bike, and that is going to cost money. So you can buy this for $700, which I think is, I mean, like I said, the GT Aggressor Pro was $500 out the door, and it didn't have internal routing. It had absolutely nothing that you could do for the dropper post. Actually, my buddy, he had a dropper post installed, and he took it from a 3x8. I think it was a 3x8, so three gears here, and then 8 back here, and he actually had them change it to a 1x, I think a 1x10. So because honestly, if you've ridden a bike that has the front derailleur on the pedal cog or gear, and then you go to a 1x, you'll never go back. Like one by is where it's at. You don't want to be click, 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 click to get the shifting in properly. You know, I'm going off on a tangent. You do you, but I personally think that that this is a pretty sweet mountain bike. I'm pretty stoked that I get to ride it and check it out and do things with it. With everything I've said about this mountain bike, I think it's a great entry-level mountain bike, something that if you're getting one for your kid or you're just, you know, don't know if it's going to be something you're going to be into, great bike to start. You can upgrade the tar out of this bad boy, and it's not breaking the bank. I mean, go look at how much mountain bikes cost, and you'll be like, okay, that's not expensive. And I think it's because you can upgrade it I think is a big deal. But I guess that's really all I have to say about it right now. Big shout out for even sending me the bike. This is actually the first time I've ever had that done. Was very stoked to get that email asking for me to review something. But again, if you like what you're watching and you want to hear more about maybe some other things, please subscribe to the channel. It would be very awesome. I plan on doing some giveaways soon. This bike might be one of those. So, you know, if you don't want to spend the money and maybe just want to get a free bike here soon, subscribe to the channel and then keep posted, and you'll see, if anything, you'll see the other things I'm going to give away here soon. But right now I'm leaning towards giving this bad boy away. So if you think I should, comment, say, yeah, give it away, man, come on. But if you're also wondering if you should even buy it and you don't already own a mountain bike, yes, it's gonna let you know if you're gonna be into mountain biking. Don't go out and buy a $4,000 or even a $2,000 bike and then be like, crap. Now you're gonna get on this thing and you're gonna ride for a while, and then when you do ultimately upgrade, you're gonna be like, man, whoo, the difference. But you know, obvious reasons, guys, obvious reasons. But other than that, guys, sweet bike. If you're on the fence, I think it's a good bike to get. I would have definitely 100% bought this bike over the GT Aggressor Pro, without a doubt. That cable routing, guys, I was so stoked on that. I was like, Lauren, check this out. They already have the cable routing in the frame so you can add a dropper post. One of the first things when I bought my GT and then I was out on the trail and I saw someone just shoot their seat up as they were about to go up a hill, I was like, what's that? I need that. And then next thing I know, they're like, oh, well, you got to run the cable on the outside because you can't run it internally and this and that, or, you know, or maybe you can, but you're going to have to drill some holes and that might destroy the integrity of the frame, whatever. You can look up that type of stuff all on your own, but the fact that they already have it there for you guys is huge, because you're going to want that dropper post. But everything else on this bike, from the box to the trail, is ready to go. Check it out, ride it. I think it's a fantastic bike for the price tag. But yeah, guys, that's all I got to say. I'm going to keep saying the same things over and over again, so I might as well hop off here. Remember to like and subscribe, please. I would love it. And keep a lookout on some free stuff in the future. And also, stay positive and ride your bike. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one.